completely understand what you mean. Like, they're making more money over there, but they're not selling as many pay-per-views or tickets as we do in America. But a lot of people say Bivol's the champion. If you want to fight for the titles, you gotta play to his song.
Okay, so we go to a first beat, and trust me that I'm well prepared with PBC to get, because over here in America we can do partnership with them in Las Vegas. So if we can make that together, I have no problem to work with them together, but I will not kiss his ring.
Yeah, what did you make of his comments when he seemed to all of a sudden lose interest in that fight, Benavidez and Bivol, and shoot it down? Why did he do that? What do you think of that?
Because he's a rookie in boxing. He's not the face of boxing. That is another mistake that he made. Boxing is a family, and what is the best for the family is America. It's not Saudi. That doesn't bring champions in Saudi. He make good fights, but it means absolutely nothing compared to Las Vegas. So it's good even for himself. When he came the first time to America, he did it in Los Angeles. Big mistake, because he doesn't understand the business in America and the people that is surrounded. He doesn't know the culture of boxing in America. It's the biggest one.
At least you get in the fights. At least you get in the fights. At least you get in the fights.
I put belt to ass, and you can see that's what I do.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to come out here and sound off on this interview and this excerpt from this interview with Samson Lukowitz. It was done by Sean Zattel, my good friend in the boxing media game. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Sean Zattel's channel. He's one of the best in the business. Has been one of the best in the business for years, and he will continue to be one of the best in the business alongside myself as we ascend in the boxing media game together. Now, Samson was asked a question about putting together the Dana Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol undisputed fight at light heavyweight. Obviously to make this fight, there's a lot of moving pieces involved. You have Turki Alalshikh involved, Riyadh Season involved, PBC involved, Al Heyman involved, right? And now you have the WBC involved as well. So that being said, before I get into what he said, I personally don't believe it should be a hard fight to make. Reason being is because Turki Alalshikh, when he came into boxing, he came in under the principle and the notion that he wanted to do the big fights only, right? So, and he wanted to make the fans happy. And this is a big fight for the light heavyweight division. This is surely a fight that will make a lot of fans happy, because a lot of people want to see Dana Benavidez in a big fight. A lot of people love Dimitri Bivol, and Bivol already beat 2 Mexican fighters. Why not try to roll the dice and beat, the Mexican monster Dana Benavidez? People want to see this fight. So I think with the war chest of money Saudi Arabia has, whether they want to do the fight in Saudi or America, there shouldn't really be too many hurdles, right? Turkey's doing Crawford versus Canelo in the States. This fight with Bivol and Benavidez would do the biggest business here in the States. That's just the truth, right? But again, as I've stated many times before, Turkey is not in the business of trying to turn over a profit. You got to understand that to understand how he operates. But nonetheless, here's what Samson said. He said, and I quote, "Okay, so we will go to a purse bid. Trust me, I'm well prepared with PBC over here in America. We can do the promotion with him, with Turkey. We can make that together, but I will not kiss the ring." So there you go. He's not bending down. He's not bending the whim. He's not bending the knee. And he will not kiss the ring to bend the Turkey's demands. Now, I'm with him. I personally think, the fight should be in America. I think Benavidez has been showing in recent fights in Vegas. I was at the fight when he fought as the co-main event of Tank. He gets a lot of support in Vegas, and he's doing a great job of building that star power in the States. Bivol is known in the States as well, because even if boxing fans or the Mexican fans don't know him by name, they say, damn, we know that guy. That's the guy that beat Canelo. So he's known in the States. It makes a lot of sense to happen in the States. But this is a matter of power. This is a matter of egos. And like I said, boxing is no different now than it was when Al Heyman was trying to take it over. I feel like it's actually maybe even a bit of in a worse state, because there's going to be more division now with Dana White coming into the fold. So we'll see. My thing is, look, Turkey said recently that with TKO Boxing coming into the mix, with Dana White coming into the mix, they are not here to run, because he said some things and then he's walked them back. He's retracted some statements. He initially said that they're going to run all the promoters out of boxing in the initial press conference with Dana White. Then he said in a recent Twitter space that, everyone can exist in the market because the market is big. So everyone can exist in the market and the market is big enough, then there should be a pathway to make this fight. And do I think it shouldn't happen in Saudi? No, I think look, I do understand the logic that Bivol is the champion, right? He's the champion. So I think this is one of the rare cases where, because Bivol is a champion, he's a top pound-for-pound fighter. If Turkey wanted to make the fight over there, they have the bargaining power and the negotiating leverage to do the fight in Saudi. I'm not saying they can't do that. But what I've been seeing from Turkey, like just by how he's moving, I think Turkey is now getting into more of the mind frame of he's trying to become a more legitimate boxing businessman. Now, does he know what he's doing? No, he doesn't know. He doesn't know his ass from his elbow when it comes to turning over a profit in boxing promotions. That's just the truth. But I think he's trying. I think, you hire Dana White to structure things a certain way to start this league because, the Saudi Arabian government gives Turki Alalshikh a war chest of money to spend and invest on bringing the biggest and the best events to advertise their country, to draw eyeballs to their country. But even the Saudis with their unlimited war chest, they're not going to want to keep losing money and not turning over a profit. That's why you get Dana White involved. So there's a lot of moving parts. You got to understand how Turkey is moving. You got to understand how the Saudis are moving and how they're starting to think. This is not the initial stages of Riyadh season in Turki Alalshikh. That initial stage where everyone was getting a bunch of money and where everyone was getting overpaid above market value is over. That's why they're bringing in Dana White to maybe start paying fighters at or below market value so that the Saudis can start turning over a profit, because they're losing money on these events. They're spending a lot of money on artists and overpaying fighters. They were overpaying fighters' purses. That's why it's being more structured now. So now Turkey is trying to find his happy medium in the boxing marketplace, and I hate this shit, man. I wish they could just do the fight in America, in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas or the Mandalay Bay, because I think especially the Mandalay Bay, this fight would do very, very well. But again, Turkey, I've said it many times before, I'll say it again. There is nothing new under the sun. In my opinion, Turkey is no different than 2015 Al Haymon or 2019 Eddie Hearn. It's just repackaged, and there's more authoritarianism involved, and you get the Saudi government involved. And I actually think there's more division involved, because now you got Dana White involved, who Dana White had his boxing license years ago to promote fights when he was talking about promoting Zuffa boxing, when he started doing the whole, when he started teasing the idea of Zuffa boxing back in 2017, 2018, when they did the Conor McGregor-Floyd fight. But Dana White didn't have the balls or the confidence to get into the boxing business because he didn't want to lose his own money. So it wasn't until, Big Turkey came into the fold where he was going to be able to front and give Dana White and everyone involved with Endeavor, Ari Emanuel and them, the money for the investment. Because now if Dana White goes in there and let's just say they miscalculate their investments with their money, it's not his money he's losing. So, I just think it should be in the States. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out. Certain fights I think do deserve to be in Saudi. Like I think Better Be at Bivol was perfect for Saudi. If Martin Bakoli fought Ajit Cabello, perfect for Saudi. Guys that can't sell in the States should be in Saudi. But if a fighter can sell in the States and it's a big event in the States, then it should be in the States. And I don't think there really should be much debate about it. But that's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Samson is using boxing business to duck Dimitri Bivol? Because I have seen that point. I have seen the point of view where people are saying, you know what, this guy's Samson. This guy's a clown. He's putting up stipulations on Bivol, and Bivol's the champion. How could he do that? So it's business. It's a negotiation. And look, I'm sure Bivol's team wouldn't mind fighting in the States if the money was right. Just like guys wouldn't mind fighting in Saudi if the money's right. At the end of the day, these fighters just want to get paid. It's a hard sport. They're getting cut in sparring. They're doing strength and conditioning. They're training 2-3 times a day. Nobody wants to get underpaid in this shit. So I get it. You want to get the best deal for yourself and your fighters, and That's what it is, but I think it should be in America. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here. Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.